What's up? What's going on? Let's just make sure we're live. Let's make sure we're live. Hello, hello. Make sure you introduce yourself as you're coming in. If you're hanging out with me live, make sure you're introducing yourself. I would love to see who is hanging out with me. Thank you so much. Welcome, welcome. The official name for this community is D2D Nation, hashtag D2D Nation. Please make sure you share this to everyone in your contact with that hashtag. The more the merrier. But either way, I'm not attached to that. We're going to have fun regardless. I'm going to be sharing some really cool stuff on this live session. So if you can hear me, please let me know you can hear me. Let's make sure that the sound system, everything works perfectly fine. And then I'm testing it myself just to make sure. But on your end, if you can please comment below and let me know that. Okay. All right. All right. Well, looks good over here. Below. All right. That's good on YouTube. And let me go look at Facebook. So for the first time, we're broadcasting live to Facebook and YouTube at the same time. So that, okay, will look good also here. Let's just mute this right here. Let's see here. So let's hang out. Let's talk business. Let's talk real estate. Let's talk life. Let's talk relationship. Good. We're looking good over here. All right. So thank you so much for hanging out with me. If you're watching this is the first time, this is D2D Nation 001. D2D stands for from data to deals. Okay. Everything starts from data. Okay. And it's always been that way, but it's very important that you acknowledge it as that in this time and age. We're in 2000 digital, right? So it's very, very important that you acknowledge it exactly as such. All right. So now, with that being said, we're gonna have some fun today. The purpose of this is so I can analyze data live with you online with me. Okay. We're going to analyze some deals. We're going to analyze deals around the nation. And we're going to look at the numbers. And if it makes sense to us, we're going to agree. You're going to have your own opinion. I'm going to have my own opinion backed by 15 years experience. But I'm open because sometimes when you've been in the game for so long, that can become a blind spot. Okay, that can become a blind spot. So it's very important that I point that out. Okay. Now, I'm not inviting anybody from my list. Okay, from our existing. Let's see here. Yeah, from our existing. I'm not inviting anybody. But I'm depending. We're depending on the algorithms, the YouTube, Facebook algorithms. The algorithms are full of it. Let me just tell you right now. Okay, they're full of it. Essentially, the traffic, the little traffic we get to our web pages, we have to drive them. It's purely off of our marketing skill set. There are times that there are a lot of knowledge out there on how to create content every day, and I'm here to tell you that there's a few traffic strategy. If you don't know what traffic is basically driving human beings to a website. Okay. I can tell you right now that your skills, the idea of getting lucky and, it's exactly that. It's just luck, And here, I'm not going to teach you luck and hope strategies. I'm going to give you real strategies that you can use in your own business. I'm not under any pressure for 55 minutes. I just want to hang out with you. If you have any questions with me about real estate, about relationships, about business, this is where you can come. It's a safe place where you can come. 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Monday through Thursdays. Okay. I am committed to at least the next 100 episodes. Okay. So Monday through Thursday, 4 p.m. I'm going to be here. If there are any other projects or anything like that blocks it, I will let you know, and I will, you can always come back to the channel and and see the update of when the next event is going to be. But I'm telling you right now, unless there's something out of the ordinary, I'm going to be here at 4 p.m. every Monday through Thursday. My name is Ola. If you haven't caught my name yet, my name is Ola, and I'm excited to be doing this. And it's completely live. Please share this. Let people know I'm hanging out. We're talking real estate. We're talking real estate wholesaling. We're talking real estate investing. We're talking business. We're talking relationships. We're talking attraction marketing in business. We're talking data. This is called from data to deals. So I'm going to be sharing my screen in a second here, and you will see me how I analyze deals around the nation. Okay. This is about virtual wholesaling. Okay. And it starts with analyzing data. Okay, it starts with data analysis. Start with data collection. It starts with data analysis. And the most manual and the slowest way to do that is to go drive for dollars. You collect data, you collect addresses, right? And then you hope that you write enough addresses down, enough to close a deal at some point. Does it work? Yes. However, for the most times that it works is basically luck. It's not something you can scale because there's only so much time in a day. But the strategies I'm going to share with you here, you're going to be able to scale it. Okay. So like I said, we're 5 minutes in right now. If you have any questions during this session, you can feel free to drop a question in the comment area. Feel free to drop a question in the chat area, and I will answer your questions when we get to it. Okay. And with that being said, we're going to dive in right now. I'm going to share my screen with you so we can start looking at some of this stuff here. Share screen. And you have to do this again. Share screen. All right. And let me see. There's this software that I'm using right now. You can absolutely try it out for free. Okay. Just so you know. You can try out the software for free. All you have to do is just go to EmpireBigData.com. Okay. EmpireBigData.com is where you want to go, and you can get a free account and try it out and see if it works for you. I know it will work for you, but I'm going to be using it with you right now. It's called EmpireBigData.com. All right. And with that being said, I'm going to share my screen right now so we can start working together and start doing some deals. And you can see here, okay, you can see my screen right now. It's all zeros. Okay, this tool is called PropString. Again, go to empirebigdata.com to get access to it for free for 7 days. Okay, but this is the software right here. Okay, it's the best software in the industry. If you're following any gurus, you will see them already talking about this. You'll see them using it. But again, just go to empirebigdata.com, and we're going to take it from there. There are quite a few counties around the nation, 3,000 plus counties around the nation. So basically, you don't have a shortage of locations, and a lot of you probably you're stuck on. You're probably stuck on your own, in your own locality, in your own local. But some people call it in your own backyard. You're doing local real estate investing, and that's fine. If that's what you want to do, if it's working out for you, that's absolutely fine. However, let me just say, however, you don't have to be stuck there if it's not working out for you. Okay. So my message, basically, what I teach you here is, I want to teach you stuff that works. Okay. I want to teach you stuff that works, and I want to show you that it actually works. Okay. But if you wait until you close a deal before you see if something is working or not, you're going to get frustrated out of the business. Okay. Is that making sense? You're going to get frustrated out of the business. And why do you want to do that? When you can actually track your progress before you actually close a deal, right? So the biggest county in the nation, okay, the whole nation, I'm talking United States, is yours, okay? Now, if you're watching me from outside of the country, and you want to do this business, you can absolutely do this business from anywhere, okay? But I'm going to teach you United States, and you can actually do real estate deals in the United States. from outside the country, because again, it's all about how you can collect data, is how you can process and analyze data. That's all it depends on. If you can do that, you can do deals. You can find deals for people that are ready to do deals, and there's going to be more people doing deals. All right. So there's going to be a couple of segments here that I will be doing. Okay, there's going to be a couple of segments, but I'm still getting used to the live platforms and stuff like that. But what I'm showing you right now is what you can expect. Okay, this is what you can expect here. This is what you can expect Monday through Thursday. Okay, and you may be watching the replay later. That's fine, but it's a lot more fun if you come out and hang out with me and you have questions in right there and there, and I can answer. Okay, but to be honest with you, I don't force that because it's unforceable. Okay, and my audience are not the type that are about the rah-rah. They are more like the on demand. But this particular show right here, D2D Nation, from data to deals, it's for me. Okay, it's for me. This software, I'm going to be using it in front of you. You're going to be learning it. I'm going to be learning it too. Okay, because you can never finish learning this software. But what I've seen so far is actually one of the best things I've seen so far. All right. So with that being said, I was saying that there are 3,000 plus counties in the nation, 3,000 plus, okay? And there are some weird type counties. I live in New Jersey, so it's weird when you don't call it counties wherever you live in, okay? The smallest county in the on my list, the smallest county based on regular counties is called Loving, okay? It's a county called Loving in Texas, okay, and so that's it's a small county, and it's called a county because of the type of jurisdiction it is legally, and it's 95 people in it. And the biggest county in the nation is Los Angeles. It's 10 million people in Los Angeles, okay, and 10 million plus people in Los Angeles County in California. And the first thing I want to tell you is that you never want to try to go into the biggest county and you don't want to go into the smallest county. The sweet spot is always in between. Okay. So one of the things I'm going to do here is I'm going to pick counties, one county at a time. Okay. I have about, let me see if I can tell you that number here real quickly. My favorite counties, basically, let's see here. Let me just see here 1 second. Okay. All right. So basically, you want to make sure that there's no more than 100,000. Okay. Now, let me tell you the proper units. Okay. 100,000. Okay. So this is based off of 2013 population. Okay. All right. So, and I'm going to tell you right now, I think this number is in thousands because I think New York alone is, so these numbers are in thousands. So I'm looking at the thousand. So when I say 10 million, so you can put 3 zeros behind that. Okay. Okay. So let's continue here. I'll tell you the proper number in a second. This is just the data I'm looking at. Okay. But anyway, the biggest county is Los Angeles County, and obviously you have the Cook County in Chicago. You have Harris County in Texas. These are all big counties. But you know what also comes with big counties? A lot of competition. Okay, because obviously it attracts population. New York, 1.6 million. Okay. Now I don't know the exact unit, but I think it's accurate as 1.6 million. Okay. Let me actually see something real quickly. Let me make sure I'm looking at the right one. Okay. New York County population. Let's see what, okay, yeah, it's 1.6 million people. Let's say it's 1.6 million people. It's pretty accurate, okay? Yeah, so, and let's see, Los Angeles County. Just want to make sure that the data I have is it's correct. Yep, 10 million people, okay? So 10 million people are Los Angeles. So again, the higher the number of people in that county, you can expect that there's going to be more competition. Okay, so I'll just say try to stay under a million. Whatever county you choose to go with, try to stay under a million, and then you should be fine. So the county I'm looking at right now that we're going to use as an example today is called Pima County in Arizona. Okay, Pima County in Arizona. Okay, so we're going to go in there. Okay, and once you get the software, get access to the software, get a free account. Okay, at EmpireBigData.com. And so I'm going to type in Pima County, Pima. I'm going to put county. You want to make sure because there may be Pima Township and Pima County, and those are two different things. But Pima, Arizona, AZ is default. It will default to the town. So just put the county, okay, and then you put Arizona. You put the code. There you go. All right, and we're going to look at that county. Okay, so now the numbers you're looking at is this is the best access to data I've ever seen in my life. Okay, especially because you can basically analyze everything right from one dashboard, as you can see, right? It's a lot of fun. Okay, it's a lot of fun. So let's see. This week I'm probably just going to let's just continue what we're doing. There are 4,640 on the MLS. The MLS stands for the multiple listing system, which is controlled by the licensed agents. These are basically properties that are listed for sale by agents. Okay, so not for sale by owners. These are listed by licensed real estate agents. Okay, there are 417 pre-foreclosures. Okay, pre-foreclosures. Now, to know what this number means, you kind of have to know what the average foreclosure is around the nation. Okay, you need to know what average foreclosure is around the nation, and I'm just gonna literally Google that right now. I think there are websites where you can actually see that. I think you could see that on foreclosure. I'm trying to remember the name right now. Foreclosure. Let me just type in foreclosure list. All right, let's see. I think you can see that on Realty Track here, realtytrack.com. I think they give us what the average number of foreclosure in the nation is. They used to, but I haven't been there in a while. Stats and trends. Let's see. Well, Realty Track is trying to do everything like Zillow these days. All right, foreclosure trends. Okay. Let me see. I should be doing this so you can see my screen. Let me see if I can share my screen with you. All right. Okay, yeah. So you can see my screen right now. All right, so let's see what it's saying. Foreclosure trends. Come on. So I can average foreclosure by county. So in real estate, everything is counted. Just keep in mind that everything is counted by county. Okay, it starts from county. The records are kept on a county level for the most part. There may be some weird situation in some weird states, but just keep that in mind that they are kept a little bit different. Okay, let's see if this loaded. All right, so it's trying to force me to. Let's see. Let's see. US foreclosure. Yeah, that's the one. Let me see under this 0.47 by county. In any way, let's just not worry about that for now. Let me go back to here. All right. So, okay. All right, so we have 417 pre-foreclosures anyway, 367 auctions. That the difference between auctions and foreclosures are basically they've passed through, they've been foreclosed on. Pre-foreclosure is obviously before they're heading towards foreclosure. They're probably late on their payment. Depends on what state, but that's a generic definition. When they're late on payment and it's past like 3 months, 4 months, 5 months, then they get on a public list with the county called the pre-foreclosures. Some people call it list pendies, which is I think it's another language for pending lawsuit. Okay. 367 auctions. That means they've already been foreclosed on, meaning the property has been taken from them. Okay. Now, with that being said, there's a redemption period and it varies from county to county. You can check on the county level and see what the rules are in your county. But that redemption period is just a time that they can come up with all the cash and redeem the property. Usually they can't because it's a lot of money, usually, right? Okay, now there's a difference here. There's a quick, okay, so I was ahead of myself a little bit. Foreclosures is already foreclosed on, 243. Auctions, meaning beyond foreclosures, they're now listed up for auction. They're trying to auction it right now at the county level, okay? And those are some of the properties here. The kind of properties we're looking for, I'm going to tell you in a second, they can fall under based on my style, okay? That all of this can have deals in them. Just so you know, there's no end all be all. Deals can come from any one of this list. You have MLS, you have pre-foreclosure, auctions, foreclosures, cash buyers, liens, vacant. So how many is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 different type of major lists, right? That you can go after. But the idea is not, you don't want to do that, okay? You don't want to just go after the whole market, okay? It's not a very smart thing to do, okay? Just keep that in mind. It's not the smartest thing to do to go after the whole market. All right. Let's see here. All right. Let's keep going. All right. So as I was saying, this foreclosure, meaning they just foreclosed on them, meaning the county took the property back. And then it will be, after that, they will be listed up for auction, okay? And then that's auctions right here, meaning they're actually available for sale right now. Because something has just been foreclosed on does not mean it's available for sale yet, okay? So the redemption period you'll find in this 243 foreclosures, not in the auction. When it's been auctioned already, it's already too late, okay? Cash buyers. This is a list. As a wholesaler, you have this 7 different types of list, right? And then you have this list right here. These are people that actually bought a property for cash, okay? You will find this very useful once you lock a property under contract. What is wholesaling, right? Wholesaling, you lock a property under contract and then you sell the rights of that contract to end buyer, okay? And that can be a cash buyer, okay? If it's not a cash buyer, some kind of private funding or maybe hard money from hard money lenders. But we call them cash buyers in the game, and this is a good list for you to have access to, and you have access. So in this county, there are 52,000 cash buyers. Since they've been keeping records, just keep that in mind. So you're not just going to target everyone. What if they haven't bought a property in like 15 years? You don't want to be wasting your marketing dollars trying to contact that person, or your marketing time or your prospecting time trying to contact that person. You don't want to do that. Okay, that's not going to be your best way of spending your time. Liens, that means they actually own some kind of liens against the property. Probably the most popular is mortgages. Mortgage is a type of lien, right? It's a lien against the property. You borrowed money against the property. The second most popular is tax liens, that people actually own property taxes. You're supposed to pay property taxes every year, right, on any property in any of the county I will ever advise you to be. There is property taxes. There may be some weird counties where you don't pay property taxes. It's usually not the most popular. It's probably that county with 95 people population, right? That's not what I'm talking about. There needs to be a sizable population in the county you target, because you need a market to buy or to buy from your cash buyer, okay? So you need a sizable market, but you also don't want to go into the most popular market, okay? All right, so, and then also you have this list here, which is vacant properties, 15,000 plus vacant properties in this county, okay? So All right. And this was a county that I picked. Okay. If you want, let's continue here. Okay. Let's just continue. I have some resources for you. I'll share with you by the end. Okay. All right. So we also have a high equity, meaning I don't know exactly how they define high equity, but the chances are high equity means they owe very little on the property with respect to how much the property is worth. Okay, so let's say the property is worth $100,000. If they owe just $10,000 or lower on that property, they have $90,000 worth of equity. So that's high equity. Why do you want high equity? Because if they have high equity, that means there's a market paying way more than what you are getting the property, what you can potentially get the property for. Okay, so that's that right there. Also under here, there's additional type of list. Okay, there's some that I have saved, I think. Let's see here. This means Union County. I think so. I think it means Union County. Let me see here. Yeah, I think I saved those. But it's high equity. These are the ones that I've saved, but don't worry about it. We're gonna dive in more and more into this as time goes on. Okay. So now you may say, so what's the next step? This is a lot of data. It seems like information overload, right? That's a good question. I started my business in 2005. Okay, I started my business in 2005, and I focused strictly on pre-foreclosures. Okay, but since then I've been a little bit wiser. Okay, so what do I mean by wiser? Like, I don't chase after everything on the market. Okay, like I said, there could be somebody on this cash buyers list and they haven't bought a property in 15 years. I don't want to deal with that person. There could be a person on this pre-foreclosure list and they don't have any equity to play with. There are ways to do deals with that. It's called short sales, but maybe I'm not willing to do that. Maybe I want some equity and I want to deal with certain type of list, right? So, but there's different types of ways. But I'll tell you right now, as a wholesaler, as a real estate investor, your best source of deals, good discounts, is going to be off-market deals. So this first list, we're not going to deal with that. Okay, these are houses on the market. Okay, but let's just dive in a little bit deeper. But before we dive in a little bit deeper, all right, let's play a little bit. Let's make this a little bit fun. Okay. I know many of you will come back here later. Just keep in mind, I know I did not announce this heavily, and our YouTube channel and Facebook page is not yet big. But either way, you may watch this replay later and it will be worth it. Okay. So, but let's play a little bit. Let's play a little bit. Let's see here. All right. Let's see. So I'm trying to get used to. There's a lot of stuff I can play with here, but I just first of all, the goal for today is to get 5 likes. Please give it a thumbs up. Smash the like button. This will let YouTube know that we're giving some value up here. So today's goal is 5. I will pick people that are clicking on the like button at random, especially if you're commenting. I will pick at random and I will give a special gift. Okay. At the end of the week, I will message you directly and I will give a special gift. So story time. Story time. When I started back in 2005, I actually didn't start at 2005. I started in 2004. But the 2004 is just December. It's just December. I purchased a course, $3,000, and I got just one tip from that course, and that was to find a networking community, a REA in the local area, and I found one. And at that time, I think I found one through the newspaper. Back when there was newspaper, and you could literally go to a stand and find a newspaper. Right now, if I need to find a newspaper, it's a different ballgame. But we're 15 years in right now. Okay. I did not close my first deal until December 2005. But man, has it been such a ride since then? It's been a ride since then, But a lot has changed. A lot has changed. One of the things that have changed is no newspapers anymore, right? Another thing that changed is we live in 2000 and digital. you know. And if you're watching me right now, presently as I'm doing this live, we're in the middle of the pandemic and everyone is at home, right? And suddenly something I've been making noise about for a good 10 years, everyone wants to work from home, right? It's interesting, you know, but things are changing. But one of the things that has also changed, right? One of the things that have changed is data. You know, if you're paying attention, you should hear data scientists everywhere. You've heard about artificial intelligence, right? You've heard about machine learning, right? If you're not paying attention, then you haven't. But what I want to do is I want to stop this whole story thing, okay? And then I want to bring you up to speed with what's going on, okay? Data, okay? From data to deals. You know, we're not talking D for D, it's not driving for dollars. From data to deals. It's about virtual wholesaling. Listen, I was out there today, okay, on a appointment, okay? My partner brought me out. Said, let's just go take a look. We haven't been out in a while because generally we don't go to appointments. We if you insist and we smell that there's a potential deal, we will go to the appointment. Generally, we don't have to do that. But anyway, we went and we ended up just talking real estate. It's a guy who is serving the business, and it's a guy who he's looking for opportunities. He claims he's capitalized, he has all this money, but he's also trying to offload 80 deals, 80 properties, which is why we went there. He told us to come and talk because he has 80 properties to offload. So we went. But I generally don't have a high expectation when something like that happens. Can it be a deal? Yes, it can be a deal. Of course, it can be a deal. Absolutely, it can be a deal. But uh, my expectations are I will build a relationship at the very minimum. I will build a relationship. All right. So, Jax, thank you so much for stopping by. Thank you for stopping by. And I'm glad you're enjoying the book, right? All right. So, with that being said, with data, we're going to focus on data. A little bit of storytelling there. I'm going to come back. I'm going to try to see if I can remember some stories and tell you some story because I understand story kind of like it's like a glue between the knowledge and where you need to be at, and we're going to keep talking more about that. But let's go back to the screen and start looking at some of the data from this platform. All right, let's see. Let's go back. All right, so don't forget if you haven't gotten your free account at Empire Big Data, just go ahead and get the free account because then you'll be able to follow along when I'm doing this, or at least practice after each live session. All right, so let's get back to the screen. All right, so here we go. So the first list, my favorite list of all time is pre-foreclosures, but these days I'm a little smarter. You should be smarter too if you're hanging out with me, and you don't have to target everybody. You're not about to send 417 letters out, because not everyone on this list are motivated either. Okay, I'll tell you what. Earlier on in my career, I used to just send out letters, but also it was okay to do that because there was not a lot of competition, right? So, but the competition is through the roof thanks to YouTube, right? And that's not a bad thing. It just means you're going to be smarter. It's data. You have to analyze your data, and you have to use the power of data in your favor so you can increase. There are three levels of motivation for any one of these people. Some people have very low motivation. Some people have very high motivation. The highest motivation you can find is someone facing pre-foreclosures, but also that's the list that most people send letters and try to cold call, and all those kind of things, right? So you don't want to just send to everybody. You want to manage your resources. You want to manage your marketing dollars, the money you're about to spend, all the time you're about to spend talking on the phone with people. You want to minimize that to people that have the highest chance of actually wanting to sell at a discount. Because if they're not selling at a discount, then the only choice is to have a realtor friend deal with them to list their property at a high price. That's not why you're in the game of wholesaling, right? You want a property at a discount. So I just selected this. All I did is I clicked on it, and we have 417 properties on that. So I'm going to go on the filter. There's this feature here called filter. Okay. And keep in mind, we're in Pima County in Arizona. I live in New Jersey. You can do this anywhere in the nation, from anywhere in the world. This is about flipping houses nationwide from anywhere in the world. As long as you have a laptop and an internet connection, then you can absolutely do this. Okay. Just keep in mind that you need a pipeline. You need data, and you need to do it at speed, because success loves speed, right? All right, so I'm going to go on the filter. Let's go on the filter, and under this filter, you can see my quick list choice already says pre-foreclosure, so it's my base list. But I'm going to filter that list down, okay? And you could play around with any one of this drop down right here. You could play around with it, okay, and find what works for you. But the key here is that you're going to find properties that it's very likely that the owners will be motivated. The idea is you send marketing, you market or offer to purchase properties to potentially distressed homeowners. So some of these things I'm about to stack on this list, some of these filters I'm about to stack on this list, will basically increase the chances that these are events that will make them want to sell, want to get rid of the property. Okay, these are actual events. Okay, well, this one is more of a feature. Okay, I don't want. I don't. There are people that do deals with condos. I don't like it personally. I don't like dealing with condos because the numbers are not exactly the same way, and condos, they're a little weird for me, but also it's just not my comfort zone. So I like to deal with single family and multifamily 2 to 4. That's what I like to deal with. Now, have I done other type of deals? Yes, but they fall on my lap. Okay. So for example, I was just listening to a podcast from Real Estate Disruptors, Steve Trang, and he was just talking about the 2 questions that you need to ask people. And that question is, what else do you have? Well, here's the thing: you have to be in front of people to ask, what else do you have, right? But it's going to happen if you're following our lead here. You're gonna close a deal, and then you're going to be in a position to say, what else do you have? Okay. So I've done that for all these years, and every time I do that, not every time, sometimes when I do that, some extra deals will come on my table. So it's a lot of fun. Okay, it's a really, really cool thing that extra deals can come from not marketing, no extra marketing dollars, just from the relations that we already built with people that we did deals with, right? All right. So single family, multifamily is what I like to spend my marketing dollars on, because most of my deals come from those. Okay. So I'm gonna click that. Okay. So you can see the filter that I'm stacking here. My search is stacking right here. All classification residential. Okay, that needs to be residential. I don't want to market to commercial. I don't want to market to office buildings. I don't want to market to vacant land. I have stumbled into vacant land, but I don't want to market into vacant land. For me, if you know what you're doing and that's what you want to go after, sure, then you probably know your math on how to find a good discount. But I'm going to keep this simple. Okay. Over here, number of bedrooms, I keep that open. It doesn't matter. Okay. Now, year built, I like targeting properties that are maximum 1980. Okay, so we're talking about 40 years ago. Okay, about 40 years ago, 1980. I don't want to spend my marketing dollars on new constructions. Have I done deals with new constructions? Yes. Again, it's just one of those things that a person with a new construction is less likely to want to, less likely, all factors, all everything else being equal, they're less likely to want to sell. Okay, let me see here. All right, yeah, they're at a discount. They're less likely to want to sell at a discount. All right, so let's go here. Let me see here if I can share this to everyone. I could have done this earlier to get some more people on there. Share public. Uh, share. All right. So 1980, about 40 years. That's what I like. I probably could come up to 1990, but let's just keep that number that way. It's another filter. So year built need to be 1980 or earlier. You can see a summary of what you're doing here. Home features, I probably don't want any of that. So pool, garage, all this kind of stuff, it really doesn't matter. All right. For what we're trying to do, right? Association, no. I need to exclude anything with homeowners association. Those are like condos and things like that. I don't want to deal with that. I could deal with it. I don't want to spend my marketing dollars on it. Okay. Or my marketing time or prospecting time. I don't want to spend it on that. MLS status. MLS is multiple listing system for agents. I don't want it to be on the market. So I need to deal with properties not on the market. And the good thing is that this software knows if it's on the market or not. So I'm going to say on market, no. Okay. So if I say no, then I don't have to deal with all of this. I don't have to put MLS status or anything like that. There are other scenarios where you may want to target that. For example, expired listings or property that has expired listing before and they're now on the market, things like that. That's so extra. I don't want to deal with that. I'm just talking from the base. Remember, we started from the base list pre-foreclosure here, right? All right. So let's keep going. Pre-foreclosures. If it's already labeled for auction, okay. So these are the different types of pre-foreclosure and foreclosure. As I was telling you earlier, there's notice of default. Okay. That's somebody who just got notice that they defaulted on their mortgage, right? Lease pendings. I told you earlier. I think it's Latin or French for pending lawsuit, right? Then auctions. Okay, I definitely don't want auctions. Okay, I don't want anything on the auction list. Okay, default. Okay, so let's see here. Is this suppression here? I'm not suppressing. I'm actually picking. So all status. So it's going to say all status. I don't want all status. I want notice of default. Okay. Or I could just say exclude foreclosures. If you exclude foreclosure, remember this is now empty. Remember we started with a base of foreclosure. That means everything on this list is facing some kind of foreclosure. So I don't want that. Okay. I've closed a few deals that are literally in like they're in auction already. Like the auction has been set already. So all right. So now I need to correct the terminology. So I missed something earlier. Auctions is actually pre-foreclosure that already have an auction date. It's after auction, after it's been auctioned, that it becomes foreclosure. Okay, it becomes foreclosed. So sorry, pardon me, because I know I said that earlier. This is another reason why you want to make sure you're hanging out from the beginning to the end. Okay, so we can stay in context. So listen, obviously I know this stuff, but sometimes it's just mixing all kind of stuff together, right? So let's keep going. Let me see something real quick. All right. Please make sure you give it a thumbs up. Our goal is to get at least 5 thumbs up today. I think we're up to, let me see here. We need to get 5 thumbs up. That's the goal today. And I will pick someone at random for a special gift later. So please make sure you give it a thumbs up. All right. So let's see. So notice of default, definitely. Okay. Auction, that means there's an auction date. It's not yet foreclosed on. So it goes in that order. Notice of default, which is, we call it pre-foreclosure. Auctions is still pre-foreclosure, but not yet foreclosed on. Default releases, I'm not sure what that means, actually. That may be some specific county stuff. But it probably means okay, I know what it means. I think I have an idea. I mean, they defaulted before, but they now caught up already. You can target those people too, because they caught up on the payment doesn't mean they are still good. Okay, they may still be stressed out. You can target them, but I'm going to focus on notice of default. Auctions. Let me see here. Let's see how many people are on the list after I added auctions. Okay. All right. So let me just access out real quick. We have 93 people on this list, right? So let's go back in here. Let's go into, we're under here. Okay, so we have 93. If I took this out, I wonder how many is on there now. Okay, so it's 2. The list pending is only 2 people that have notice of list pending, so that's too small. Let me just go after auctions here. Default releases, meaning they were in pre-foreclosure, but they're now off the list, right? You can have that as well too. But we have 93 here right now. Remember, this is us pretending we're about to market today, right? We're about to market today, and we're trying to see if we can send out a few letters or a few, drop a few contacts, basically, because the idea is you want to contact these people with an offer to purchase their property, right? Let me see here. Share to pay, share. Please make sure if you're watching me on Facebook anywhere, make sure you're sharing the session to everyone. Let people know we're hanging out here. All right. All right. It will make me feel good, but I will be here every day, 4 p.m. Okay. To make you feel that much better. Okay. Thank you so much. All right. So let's continue here. So we have auctions. Bank owned, I don't want bank owned, means it's already foreclosed on. Bank owned usually means you're dealing with an agent as well. It's listed on the market. Maybe not, but I don't want that. So let's just keep that, let's keep it that way. Notice of default and auction date. They already have auction date. So I have closed more than enough properties with auction dates on them because they're that close to being foreclosed on. So I know enough that I should have both on my list. Okay. At least, but also it depends on the county, depends on the size of the county. So my budget, let's say my budget was, I want to spend $50 on mailing today, right? Then let's say it's 50 cents per stamp, right? Then I'm just looking for 100. Okay. And I basically want to manage that resource. Okay. That marketing resource, I want to manage that. Or if I was trying to skip trace, okay, then the same thing, same story, whatever my budget is, that's how my filter is going to play out. But the idea is I use these filters to manage my marketing resources. Okay, my marketing budget. Lien. So let's go under here. Lien. Does it have a lien? Okay, so there's something called target status here, and there's something called suppressed status. Okay, so if I don't want a situation that has active lien on it, I can suppress that list by selecting that. If I don't want active bankruptcy, I can suppress that. I definitely don't want active bankruptcy. Okay. So if the property is attached to an active bankruptcy, I'm actually still trying to understand it because actually there's a way that you can still take advantage of that. See, it reduced my list to 87. And that's a good thing. I get to spend my money on where I'm more comfortable, right? When a property is in bankruptcy, I'm not a lawyer. I always tell you I'm not a lawyer, so I don't know the full detail or the full gist. Okay. Lien released, I definitely don't want to suppress that. Either way, I want to talk to all of them. Okay. Bankruptcy dismissed. So I would, if a bankruptcy is dismissed, I would want that on my list, right? Because that means they're out of the bankruptcy court and I can talk to them. That means they're in control of the deal. So that needs to be on my target status, not the suppressed status. Suppressed status means I don't want. Okay. Specific lien type. I don't have to specify. I want everything. Okay. All right. But if you want specific, like you only want stuff with tax liens on it, you select that. You will simply select that, and your list will reduce dramatically. So now, if you look at this list, I have 3 properties. Right. 3 properties. Not just pre-foreclosure, they're not on the market, but they also have tax liens against them. Okay. All right. So just keep that in mind. But I'm not going to keep that on there. All right. But this is how you play with this and see where, again, none of this stuff I'm too particular about. I'm particular about my marketing budget. I design my marketing budget and I know how long I can go consistently because the number one secret of the game is consistency. It's one of the reasons why I'm not a big fan of driving for dollars because most people cannot do that consistently. Can I come here for the next 100 days and just play with this data? Yes. Can I drop this mail like from my computer? Yes. Can I send out a SMS text message? I can find these people's phone numbers from my computer and send out the SMS text message. Yes, I can do that consistently forever for the next 1 year and close my deal next year, 1 year from now, and it's still worth it. But if I've been driving for dollars for 4 hours a day, not only would I be frustrated, I'll be pissed off at the business. And it's just, now could you get lucky? Yes. Okay. Quite a few people has gotten lucky and they're closing deals from from driving for dollars, especially if they're not the one doing the driving for dollars and they have other people doing it for them. Okay, so just keep that in mind. It's leverage, 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 leverage. The more you can use your time wisely, the better. Okay, especially in 2000 and digital. All right. All right. So we got about 5 more minutes to go here. All right. So it went by pretty quickly. I enjoyed it. So I'm going to be doing this from time to time. So as active bankruptcy are suppressed, I don't want active bankruptcy. I'm going to take this out. I don't want just tax liens. I would want everything. Okay. Other homeowners, any type of lien here, I want all of them. Okay. All right. So I'm basically getting all the type of liens, even if all right. So let's see here: bankruptcy, divorce date, all of that. Target list. Um, so if bankruptcy dismissed, I'm gonna get everything now. It's only if I want bankruptcy dismissed that I will select just that. That means to exclude everything else. Okay. So I'm gonna leave that feature alone for now. I'm gonna go down to valuation and equity. So how much equity do I want? Okay, meaning how much do they owe against the property, against what the property is worth? Okay, so you can look at it in percentage, or if you know your numbers, or that particular, I wouldn't know my number because this is virtual wholesaling. I would only know percentage. So I want people that have at least, let me say, probably about 60% equity, 50 to 60% equity. That's what I want. Okay. So estimated equity in dollars, in percentage, I want minimum. I want minimum. Let me say, let's see what 60 would do. That means they actually have space in the property to sell. It's 21. Now this brought us down to 21. If I send mailings to these people, this would cost me $10. Okay, it cost me $10. I could literally come back and say, this is all I want to do. For every week I'll come back, I work on this data like this, and I will send out I will basically send out my $10 worth of mailings every. I could do that too. So let's keep going here. So yeah, so that's equity. Mortgage info. Do you want all open mortgages? Do you have any specifics you want to do? You could play around with that as well, and or you could just say, what, free and clear. You want all free and clear. Include, exclude. You want to exclude all free and clear, meaning they own the property outright. If you want to exclude it, you can exclude it from here too. Cash buyers. You don't have to exclude that because they may have bought the house cash 30 years ago and it's worth something right now. Okay. Now, one more thing I'm missing, ownership info here. I want it to have been owned for at least 7 years. Okay. So minimum 7 years. I don't want properties that were bought 3 years ago and they're now on this list. Okay. So with that being said, all of this has been owned for a while. These are the list right here. And these are the properties right there. Okay. And some of them have pictures, but these are actual real properties that I can go after. All right. So I'm going to click onto this. And if you click into it, you get more details about the property. Okay. So I'm going to be playing. There's a lot more features here. I'm going to be coming back here every day. I'm going to be playing with this. Okay. So what I want to tell you right now is you want to make sure you go and go to empirebigdata.com. Okay. Go to Empire Big Data. If you're watching me and you haven't given this a thumbs up, please make sure you give it a thumbs up. Okay. Please. Okay. Please. Because it will help us as we continue to grow. You will probably feel me beg you a lot for thumbs up, because that's how everyone else is gonna know we're hanging out here, to tell the algorithms that we're actually hanging out here. Okay, so make sure you're doing that. All right, and today's goal is 5. We're short on 1. Okay, we're short one love or like or something like that. So make sure you give it a thumbs up. Okay, and what else do I want to share with you? A couple of things I want to share with you before we round up. We got to round up in 1 minute right now. We'll be back here 4 p.m. Don't forget, tomorrow we'll be back here 4 p.m. Tell everyone you know that's trying to make money in real estate, is trying to make money investing in real estate. You don't need a license. You don't need cash. You don't need credit. You don't need, what else? You don't need capital, okay? You just need to be willing to learn how to market, okay? You find these deals, and I got you on the disposition. Okay, as far as how to find buyers for them. If you find a deal, find buyers for them, and we'll get them done. I may just buy the property myself. Okay, so that's, if you wonder how come I'm doing this for free, because I get to make money with a lot more people. So again, we're starting a new community here. It's called D2D Nation. Okay, D2D Nation. If you want me to create a Facebook group where we can hang out, I want you to comment it in the box below, and I can probably put that together like a group where we can all hang out. Okay. Let's see. Looking to get my first deal. Can't wait. Jax, definitely we should address that. We should definitely address that. I will be back here tomorrow. We're gonna have fun. I'm gonna create some time also on every episode to answer specific questions. Okay. So, like for example, this is not a question. I will need you to be a little bit more. I can't wait. He said, I would. I'm in Wilmington, North Carolina, looking for deals. Okay, good. I just showed you literally 21 pieces of properties we can go after. Okay, and they're potentially deals. Okay, it's just about contacting those people, and but we're going to be doing. It's about data analysis. So EmpireBigData.com is where you basically want to be looking for those deals, because everything is right there. And I'm going to be showcasing, sorry, I'm going to be demonstrating how it works here, okay, as well. All right, so there are other couple of things I wanted to make sure I show you today. Let's see here. So EmpireBigData.com, like I told you, okay. And if you're looking, once you find somebody contact you, this tool right here, dealestimator.com, is free calculators to help you. So make sure you write that down as well, okay. What else here? We have some free masterclasses out there. 11 days challenge.com. Make sure you join the 11 days challenge as well, because this is how you're going to build your cash buyers list so that you can also close deals for other people in the business. If you want to be in that position where you can help other people close deals and not look for deals for your own, that's 11 days challenge. That's what it's about. And then also 14K formula masterclass, you want to touch on that as well. So write that down. I'm rounding off because I need to round up right now. We're not supposed to be more than 1 hour here every day. And then there's another masterclass, full-blown masterclass on how to virtualize. So for example, if you're looking for your first deal, it's a good chance that, that's a very generic question. You need to go through the masterclass. It's a 3 hours intensive masterclass. Okay, so myEmpirePRO.com/go virtual. That's where you want to find that. And don't forget, not only should you click like, make sure you subscribe to the channel, make sure you subscribe to the notifications, turn on your notifications. I'll be here 4 p.m. every day. Yes, the recording will be there, but it's not going to be as fun as hanging out with me live, especially if you ask specific questions and things like that. And as you can see, I'm prepared for this. I got the watermarks, all the stuff ready so that we can get the most out of this situation here. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be a lot of fun. So just keep that in mind, that we're going to be here every day, Monday through Thursday, 4 p.m. to 4:55 p.m. So I'm already 3 minutes over right now. Okay. Please give it a thumbs up. Give it a thumbs up. Don't just leave. I think we got 4 thumbs up, and we have like 4 people hanging out with me right now. So that means I can get at least probably 3 more thumbs up. So make sure you give it a thumbs up. If you have any questions, if you're brand new here, let me just say this. If you're completely brand new here, then you definitely want to make sure you grab the book for free, which is what Jax was talking about earlier, was just listening to my book. You can grab the PDF version for free. You can grab it for free at smartrealestatewholesaling.com. Okay, that's where you want to go for that. You want to go to smartrealestatewholesaling.com, or you can just go directly to myEmpirePRO.com and grab that, okay, and get that from there. It's called Smart Real Estate Wholesaling. That's the first book I wrote on real estate. I have a second book. If you go there as well, I'll give you that for free. It's called Real Estate Money Secrets. Thank you so much for hanging out. I don't want it to touch 5 o'clock. That's it for today. Let's tell everyone else, share this video with everyone else so we can be a lot more people. And let me know if you want me to create a group where we can hang out and just chat. I'm not really a big fan of that, but if you want it, I'll do it. That's it. I'll see you on the next one, and peace.